Craig, appreciate you coming down, brother. Really appreciate it. We've been trying to get this done for at least a couple of months, but obviously there was a small matter of you versus Buatsi.
Yeah.
That's the reason we didn't get it done before. But thanks for coming down.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me down. I know I was due to come down from ages ago.
Yeah.
You was away for a bit, then I was in camp.
Yeah.
But we made it happen.
We made it happen indeed. Let's just go straight to it. 6 weeks ago, obviously, was the big fight between you and Joshua Buatsi. You've had time to watch the fight back and speak to people. What's your overriding feelings?
I thought it was a good fight. I thought at the end of the day, the fans won. We both put an entertaining show. I know people had their mixed opinions. Some people thought I'd done enough. Some people thought he had enough. Some people thought it was a draw. It was a close fight. Like, I enjoyed it, and I love being in fights like that.
You know what? Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen so many black people at a fight before.
I know, I know.
Like, ringside.
100%.
I don't think I've ever. I was telling someone this the other day. I was like, you know, I was at AJ Dillian White, and it still wasn't like that.
No.
Like in terms of like black fans,
No, it wasn't.
I've never seen it. Yeah.
And you know what? I just thought, like, especially with the occasion, and everything's about catering for an audience, and I knew basically based on the audience was coming from, I think that's why I came out to the songs that I come out to, he came out to the songs. I think it was just fitting for the occasions as well, which made it all part of the, because then like the crowd got invested. So you got to cater for the fans, and I was invested. When I came out personally, I didn't realize the fans were so invested. I felt the energy of the fans, and it was lovely.
But you know what's crazy is I'm going to shout her out. She's probably not going to like it. But there's a girl called Jeanette Kwachi, who broadcaster, Ghanaian. So she's obviously there to support Buatsi. Probably, she's probably there to support Buatsi. You came out to that song though, and she was like, "Yo," because she's at an age where she remembers going to dance halls, listening to that kind of music, and she was like, "I'm here to support Buatsi," but she was moving. And I was like, "Yo, what are you doing? I see you moving. What are you doing?" She was like, "Oh,"
so I got lost in the moment.
Yeah, she got lost in the moment, bro. The atmosphere when you walked out, because obviously you came out second.
Yeah,
the atmosphere when you came out. I mean, for you as well, that you've been in the game a long time and you've had your big fights. Obviously, Bivol was behind closed doors. Bullioni was when you were coming up and took the fight on late notice. Did it almost feel like we've made it coming out to that? It was almost like all this journey, all the hard work, like we're here now.
Yeah, because I remember even like, I don't know how many fights ago it was now, but when I boxed Jake, we co-mained at the O2.
Yeah.
And obviously there was a lot of interest in the fight at the time and it was nice, but yet again, when you come out, the lights are still on. Yeah. Until you headline, the lights don't go off.
No.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And I remember when I, obviously I boxed Higgins, but that was headline the next gen. And that was the first time I'd walked out and all the lights was going, the fingers in the middle of the ring and that. And that's how they used to do it back then. Yeah. And I kind of felt like, wow, this is nice. Now I know it's like to headline, but that was on a small hall show. So it was like all the occasions of the big fights put into one on a bigger pedestal. Yeah. So it was like, I remember when I first turned professional, obviously I was always with Pete. So at the time, AJ was training with Tony and whatnot, and they used to do his corners. So they said to me, look, come down, have a feel of what it's like to be at the show. And we went to the O2, and obviously AJ was headlining.
Big, AJ's got big cards,
big. So we've walked out, and I remember walking out with him.
Oh, you walked out with him?
Yeah, I walked out with him. Yeah, so I'm walking out with him down the thingy, and I remember the lights off, and all I remember seeing is loads of little phone lights, and I was like, wow, is this what it's like to be at the O2? So when I then got put on the O2 show, my fifth fight in the Kelbrook Golovkin undercard, and I walked out expecting to see all the phone lights and it dark. It was all bright. And it was like a quarter of a stadium or something. I was like, oh, maybe I ain't made it yet.
I always wonder what that's like for people. You know, you get these fighters, and look, good luck to everyone, but you get these fighters that are on the big cards and are happy to be on the big cards, but they're on like, me and you were just speaking about, like the Facebook Live bit. Yeah. Or the Before the Bell with DAZN. Yeah. Would you prefer to be on a smaller card that you headline or a big card where you're right at the bottom?
It's a hard one because it depends on the venue. For example, when I used to box at York Hall, although the atmosphere is always amazing at York Hall because it's so intimate, but the change rooms are freezing cold. And you come out, it's hot and it's tiny. So you can't really warm up. There's no space. It's cold. And then you're walking out. It's a bit dingy. Then you come out to York Hall and then the atmosphere is completely too hot. So to prepare is not the best. So when you're preparing on the big stages, you got a nice changing room. It's warm.
It's big in it.
It's nice. The toilets are bigger.
It's like a studio.
The toilets are bigger than the changing room in the whole of York Hall. Yeah. So that's nice in preparation wise. Then you walk out and obviously there's not much people. But when you box early, because obviously I've come up from literally the ground. I mean, my debut, I was literally number one for the ribbon cutter. So I've came on early. But when you're actually walking out to you feel that it's bigger than it is because you can hear your own little 200 fans screaming for you. So you feel that this is your moment. So despite being early, sometimes you still feel you're having your moment, and it's just nice to build up to get to the point where you are.
I feel like that's nice as well. And you're speaking about you sort of being the opener, and you've done it kind of the hard way. You're right, the small hall shows. Yeah. And I almost feel like because you've done it that way, you appreciate it even more. 100%. Like, and AJ, for example, who's just done big shows after big shows, he'll still appreciate it, but maybe not as much. Whereas you, because you've done it from the bottom to where you are.
Literally, first on the York Hall show. From the bottom. On a Next Gen show, first on the Next Gen show. Like, not talking about first TV on the Next Gen show. I'm talking about number that means you're one.
Like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
4:30 maybe. Like, I remember quarter of my fans missed it because I was number one. And the door just opened like 5-10 minutes before I'm walking out. So literally, and I got a knockout within 40-something seconds in the first round. So as people walking in, my fight's done. They're like, I missed it. I'm like, that's not my problem, I won. I'm like, celebrating.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know when you're coming out and you're standing there, because when you came out of the O2, you didn't walk straight down. I've seen some people, and I feel like, is it nerves? They go straight down. Yeah. You stood there and kind of soaked it up for a little while. Yeah. What's that like? Are you nervous? Are you thinking... Like, there must be a part of it that's like, okay, we're going to go in there and you know it's going to be war. Yeah. You and Buatsi is not going to be a sparring session. You know, it's going to hurt. Yeah. Are you thinking all those things or?
Not at that point.
No, okay.
No. When I'm in training camp, I'm saying, listen, I know this guy's coming for me. Yeah. I got to prepare myself. So all the hard days, psychologically, I'm getting myself prepared. Yeah. So the time it gets to fight week, I've done the work. Yeah. Now, I know I've got a new challenge. The physical is done. Now I've got to get the mental. Yeah. So where I'm experienced, I've been in so many big fights. I know what it's going to take. I know how I'm going to feel. I know I'm going to feel when I wake up that morning. I know I'm going to feel in the changing room. So if you get any slight feeling of them, you're like, oh yeah, I know what time it is.
Is that what it is? That was like, yeah. Okay.
So you just know, like, it's like, the best way I can put it is when you're in school and someone says to you, after school. Yeah.
I remember that feeling.
And you know, it don't matter. If you know you'll smack this guy up for the next couple of periods, that feeling. You can't even. And it's not nervous, it's the anticipation of the wait. Yeah. So it's just like boxing. You're anticipating something you know is going to happen. Yeah. So you know you're going to fight in 5 hours. You're like, 4 hours left, 3 hours left, 2 hours. So
no matter what, you know.
No matter what,
even that guy's small, you're like,
small, dead, out of shape, tall. You just know you're anticipating the fight because you're thinking, oh, imagine I slipped as I was swinging a punch or something. It's just that anticipation of getting it right. So you're just mentally zoning in. By the time I'm wrapping my hands and preparing, I'm zoned in now. I know it's wartime. I'm physically prepared now. I'm mentally prepared now. So the time I've walked out, I've made sure before I've left that changing room door, I'm good to go. Now I understand the occasion and I'm going to walk out. Now prepared for every case scenario. In case you get booed, in case you get cheered. You don't know how the crowd's going to be. You don't know who's got a majority crowd.
Yeah, you don't.
So you just got to prepare for everything. We'll always prepare for the worst. If you get the best, great. And that's what I'm saying. When I came out, knowing like he's the golden boy, I'm anticipating maybe he's got the majority crowd.
Did that surprise you? Because he is the golden boy. Yeah. In that fight, he was billed as the A side. Yeah. You know this. Did it surprise you that you had the majority of the crowd?
Yeah, it did.
It surprised me. I can't lie to you. It surprised me.
But I've always, listen, what I always say to people, like we look at numbers of like maybe social medias, etc., etc. When if you look at all of that, these people who supposedly got more followers or people behind them, none of them do more numbers than I do in terms of ticket sales or people on seats. And it shows, like, when you go to my show...
That social media thing ain't real.
It's not real.
It's not real, because I've said this, like, Ryan Garcia would fill out the Wembley Stadium. Yeah. And he wouldn't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
So he wouldn't. It doesn't add up. Because you look at all the guys, like, who have got bigger presence than me on socials as such, they don't do numbers I do. Yeah. That I put more people and I've got bigger support base than all of them.
Your sister must sell tickets. Remember I mentioned her in the ring after. Yeah. I was like, yo, shout out to your mum and sister. Or I think it was your aunt and sister. Yeah. Their voices, they don't stop.
They've been like that since the amateurs.
Is it? They don't stop.
Nearly got me banned from the amateurs.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like, I remember certain times I'd be boxing.
Was telling them to sit down. They didn't even listen to security.
I remember I'd be boxing just in the middle of a good trade-off. I hear the referee go, stop! Corners. I'm like, what do we do? They're like, go into the corner. You get back. I'm like, you focus on the fight. Don't worry about them over there. Get security to deal with that or something. It's what we dealt with. But it's all good. They're passionate. Very passionate. Like, the thing is, my household, my dad didn't watch football. We all grew up watching boxing. From when I was a kid, from before I could even talk, late night box office was the only time we'd be up late. We'll be sitting with my dad watching all the box office fights. So my sisters, my mum, my aunties, my uncles. My dad was down cable when we was young, so he had the box office stuff going on. Yeah. So that's all our occasions was. So our family's always been passionate about boxing. Period. Then now I box. So we got a family who's passionate about boxing. Now someone they love's involved with the boxing. Combined, they're excited. They get more excited sometimes than me. My sister ringing me up about
honestly,
stuff I don't know
fantastic. And again, it's good to see. It's good to see as a black person a lot, because I've always gone to, like, I obviously cover boxing. I'm lucky to go to a lot of boxing events, and it's still, I'd say, 99% white.
Yeah,
it's still that. Course, and now it's good to see sort of not just black fighters, but black fans coming out to support their black fighters, because I don't think we've seen that for a very, very long time. They
don't really buy tickets usually.
They don't buy tickets. They don't buy tickets. They just don't do it. They'll watch it at home.
Buy the tickets. Yeah. And the majority of the black guys will either watch it at home or stream it.
Yeah, or stream it or follow Twitter to see who's won.
Yeah,
they don't really.
They don't want to pay their money and come out and spend their time.
100% don't. So congratulations to you and Buatsi for seeing that. I want to talk about the fight. When you're in there, are you knowing how close it is? Do you like go to the corner and think, okay, I bagged that round, or I might have lost that round? Well, you know, because I always feel like when the 10-second clapper goes, both of you, that's cool. Both of you are very like going for it for the last 10 seconds. Are you thinking all the rounds closer when it's still that round? What's your mentality?
Well, I don't know. Like, how I look at it is, I go back to my corner. My corner's very honest with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I come back, I'm like, yeah, smoke that round. They're like, no, you didn't. You didn't smoke that round.
No.
Like, you needed to do more. Yeah. You let her slip in such and such round. I'm like, what? We're just being honest with you. You need to get back the next round. Cool.
And you don't know that. When you're fighting, you don't know. You don't realise that's all strange, isn't it? You don't. That's how close it is, or you're in your own zone that you're not quite sure if you lost it or not.
This is what it's like. It's like, say for instance, certain rounds. Even this fight is a perfect example for it. So certain rounds, I was doing a great work for 2 minutes 40.
Yeah,
he might be tucking up thingy. Then last 10 seconds, he throws a crazy flurry.
Crazy,
whether if they land or don't land, it just looks like he's getting busy.
To the judges.
So now people are like, are we going to take his 10-second flurry, or are we going to take Richard's majority of the work, point scoring, racking here and there throughout the 2 minutes 40? And that's kind of boxing. The thing is, what upsets me about boxing sometimes is it's a very opinionated sport. So it's not factual. You know, in football, you score a goal, that's a goal. 1-0, whether they had the possession the whole time, done kick-ups, kicked over your head, the ball goes in the net, is 1-0.
That's it. That's all that counts.
With boxing,
so subjective.
Every judge has a different method. They're all looking for different things, and everyone's got an opinion of what wins you the fight. Some people like aggression. Some people like clever boxing. Some countries like good defense. Some countries just like to take some
shots. Countries, Mexicans, it's all about aggression.
It's all about aggression.
You can't be the back foot fighter.
No,
it's all about aggression.
And in America, they like back foot boxing as skillful skills. And this is where sometimes I always talk about the downfall of it. Like, all right, for example, if we look at the fight just now, round 1, Buatsi threw, 15 shot combination, I don't know. Yeah. I slipped, shoulder, block, roll, didn't let none of the shots land. What commentator said? Good defense.
Okay.
You don't get complimented for that in England. But if I take a shot and I'm trading, getting shot, they're like, oh, good chin, this is exciting. Crazy, isn't it? You get praise for taking shots and keep coming forward rather than making a miss of the art of boxing. And that's why you got
commentators are very powerful to the casuals that are watching, because the casuals that are watching who dip their toes in and out of boxing don't quite understand what's going on. So if commentator A says, like, that back foot fighting ain't great, Craig's slow, he's not, then that's it then. You're now a slow fighter.
You're slow. Oh, Craig's going backwards, he doesn't believe that he's got the power to keep him off. Oh, Craig's got confidence problems.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, you'll say that, but it's like, why would Craig take these fights if he's not confident in himself? But they don't look at it. See, people ain't got time to do research and look into things. They don't care that much. You're just watching it for a bit of entertainment. You're not trying to check the backing story, his personal life. All you've seen, you turn the TV on, you want to see a bit of boxing before you have your food or after you've had your food. You're not looking, you're listening to what the commentators, you're probably having a conversation with someone, half in watching it, half out. You're like, I missed a few rounds. Who's winning this? Commentator says he's losing.
And that's kind of
how that's it. So they do control the majority of the thoughts of the majority of the fans. Obviously, you get a rare few who know boxing, they've been in and out of it, they know how it works, so they're not really listening to the commentators as such. Or
I speak to a lot of fight fans who put it on mute.
Yeah,
a lot of people rather just watch it themselves than hear the commentators. They'd rather just, because the commentators can even sort of trick them.
They can.
So they'd rather just put it on mute. Do you think you won the fight?
Personally, I did think I did enough. Yeah, I did personally.
You like 7-5?
Probably 7-5. It was close. I wasn't saying I walked through the fight. It was a very tight fight. Like, if they said draw, I wouldn't have argued. If they said I won it, I wouldn't have argued. It was a close fight.
I was obviously, like, I'm ringside. I'm close up, and I've got a couple of people here, there, and I'm telling you now, no one knew how that fight went.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, George Groves over there, and I'm looking at George like, what are you thinking? Darren Barker, like, You know, everyone around.
Yeah.
No one was like, yeah, he won or he won. No one.
Yeah.
I think going into the 12th, everyone was like,
yeah,
haven't got a clue.
But I feel like, do you know what? Even at the end, I look out sometimes and I've got like honest people in the crowd, and they'll say to me,
that guy that just.
Yeah, they'll go.
Yeah,
they'll go.
That dude.
Or they'll go like definitely, or they go, or like, and I'm looking at them and like, I think
it was a tough one. Even Peter, like after I done the interview, I went to Peter and I was like, he was like, yeah, it was the 12th. He's not. He's like, I think we won the 12th. If we won the 12th, we won the fight.
Yeah.
So Peter was like, he thought you won it as well. So Peter was like 7-5.
Yeah.
As well. Eddie wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And I could tell Buatsi wasn't sure. Like again, I look at who celebrates the most. Yeah. No one was sure.
No one.
It was that close to the point where I think a draw maybe was the right result.
And do you know what? A lot of people said, like, even some people came up to me at the end and said, I thought you'd done enough, but I think the fairest result would have been a draw. And I said, do you know what? I wouldn't have argued with that because I don't think anyone would have. No one would have.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes in boxing, when a fight's that tight, I don't understand why you wouldn't just do a draw and run it back. Like it would just make sense because if a fight's that close, for me.
You do wonder, and look, I don't know about what goes on behind the scenes, but you think of, okay, Bivol's around and they're already thinking, okay, Buatsi, Bivol, they've already kind of got it Buatsi's going to fight. Yeah. So Buatsi's winning. Do you know what I mean? Not course. Like it's corrupt, but they've already got a plan.
Yeah.
What was it like though? And look, you've been in big fights. We mentioned Bivol, but that was behind closed doors, and Bullioni, and that was early in your career. What was it like with the whole build-up? You've done a bit of face-off. There was a press conference, right? That was nice. So much media. I was following your Insta story, and it felt like there was media every second, like even American media as well.
Yeah.
What was it like getting the kind of respect from just everyone, like everyone finally recognizing, okay, this is Craig Richards?
Well, I've had nothing but good feedback even after the fight from fans walking down the street, etc. Like I've had loads of like positive feedback. The build up was great. Like when you watch, but as I said,
was nice.
The face-off was nice.
Face-off.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. You know, good with that as well. I like that. You know, well, I gotta respect that. Like, I respect. You know what? It was nice seeing even you there doing it. The growth's been amazing.
Yeah,
we'll get onto that, but I definitely got to respect that. It was nice in terms of, as I said, I've grew up watching boxing like my whole life, and there's certain occasions that you watch when you're little and you're like, I'd love to do that one day.
Yeah,
and gloves are off the face off in different aspects. You've seen like the gloves are off when it was on Sky. You've seen
how good were they on Sky? Johnny's so good at it.
Yeah, he was good. But we see him from, is it Kellerman, the one with Floyd and stuff?
Oh, yeah, even before, you're right.
Before gloves are off. So I used to watch, obviously I was for a Floyd era as well.
Yes, I watched all of those.
Yeah. So from when he was on HBO and then he went over to Showtime doing the face-offs.
Yeah.
One of the Victor Ortiz ones to the De La Hoya ones.
So good.
They were so good. That's what used to make me love boxing.
That's what turned me into like a bigger boxing fan, because you got more. Yeah. It wasn't just fight night. Yeah. You got all the build up. Like you're right, although you got the 24/7.
Yeah. And then it went to all access after.
Yeah.
All of that is what brought boxing back.
Yeah.
Because when you look at it from the Lennox Lewis era and etc., we all love the heavyweight knockouts. That's what we're in it for. Let's be honest. I know it's cruel. There's human beings, but we just want to see a knockout.
Yeah. That's why it got boring a bit with Vladimir.
That's what I was about to say. When the Klitschko's took over, it become watching paint dry sometimes. We knew we was not going to see a knockout. We see jab and grab. We're not invested in you like that. If you're my family or friend, then just nick the 12th and get the win. We are fans. We don't know you like that. We want to see a KO.
Yeah.
So boxing at that era died. Yeah. And until the AJ era and the Wilder era, the boxing kind of in the heavyweights died. So throughout that whole period, the heavyweights died, and we went to the lighter weights, and that's when Floyd Mayweather with the all access 24/7, the faces off, and this is all the things that you want to get involved with. So when I get the phone call saying, "Hi, are you around next week? We're shooting the documentary for the build up for your fight," you're like, "Oh, I'm in the documentary now."
Mad.
Yeah.
That's
you've got a face off. Oh, I'm involved with one of those now. You're like, oh, I've arrived.
Yeah.
That's what it makes you realize.
Yeah.
Because the fighting is great, but that's the hard bit, the training camp and etc. But the other side outside of it's enjoyable. So for me, I know a lot of people don't like doing that stuff. I embrace it because I've watched it.
Do you?
Yeah, I embrace it.
Because some people, like, even when I was at AJ's presser today and I was looking at him and I was thinking, I saw all the media and I was thinking, he just had enough of this.
Yeah.
Like he's answering and it's the same question.
Yeah.
Like, literally the whole line, and it was The Zone, it was Sky, it was CNN. I was thinking, he's going to be asked the same question. And he looked like, I'm done. Yeah. But I'm guessing for you that's not done that many, it's like, nah, this is...
It was, do you know what, to be honest, it gets draining sometimes. Like, for example, when we done our pre-press conference saying what they're doing now, there was a long line of people.
Saw it.
And they come in. And
wasn't you sitting down at one stage?
Yeah, I was sitting down.
Yeah,
I had to get a seat.
In the corner,
yeah, in the corner. Yeah, I just had to get a seat. And they're waiting one by one.
Yeah.
And you know the questions are going to be similar. They might change slightly, but your answers are kind of going down the same road for the whole queue. For the hour or so you're there.
That was a long time.
Long time. So that does get draining. But you just got to accept it's part of the job. So I just embrace all the bits, the rough, the smooth, whatever. I take it how it is. All I make sure I do is when we get to fight week for the presser, I'm not going to do as much obligations. Because when you leave that place, it's like you've had a whole day training camp. You're mentally exhausted. So I can't take that onto fight week because I don't want to be drained.
Yeah. And you weren't trained. Look, again, regardless of whether or not you got the W, it was a fantastic performance.
Yeah.
And not just that, but you're right. The whole build-up, what you was doing with the media, it was tick, tick, tick.
Yeah.
It was tick, tick, tick to the point where you've got to stay there now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There is no going to sort of third up before the bell.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be a big name. And you're in a division where there are big names.
There is big names.
It's got to be, whether it's guys here or guys in America.
Yeah.
It's got to be big
names.
names.
So much options. There's so
Loads
much
of
options. It's
bro.
like we've got a global talents in my weight.
Yeah.
You got in America, you got in Russia, you got
It's
here,
crazy.
you've got in Germany.
You've got 168 guys coming up as well.
We've got so much options. There's no reason for us to be in a boring fight. So unless it's a title fight and the guy's name's not big, then it will be an exciting
Is that
name.
difficult for you now though? Like now, if sort of Eddie or whoever comes to you with the deal and says like, we got this, is it now a case of no? Don't want that. Like money's got to be right. Number one,
money's got to be right.
And the opponent's got to be right. You know, you're not. You know, you're still looking great shape. You're not 25 anymore.
No, yeah.
So it's got to be big fight and big money.
It's got to be big fights, big money, and that's what the aim is. I've learned the game now, and I feel like early in my career, in some of them big fights, the monies I was taking and the fights I was taking, I just wanted to get in. Yeah. But I didn't even understand the business. All I thought is, oh, he'll be a good name to beat. Oh, I'll take that. It was all about proving a point. Like, I'm a fighter deep down. That's what I am. So I didn't care about the negotiations. It's like, oh, you want to fight him? Okay, cool. I won't even ask for the money. Oh yeah, by the way, how much am I getting on fight week?
Crazy.
We don't even answer them questions because you're thinking, look, I know it's not going to be life-changing money, number one. Number two, it's a hard fight, but it's going to elevate me. It was all about getting into position for me.
To where you are now.
Yeah, I came with a small amateur pedigree. No one knows me. I didn't have a dad or an Olympian or anything like that. I was just here making my way through. Young guy from South London, no one knows. I had to just really just keep kicking the door down. And like, if you look at my career, in like 20 fights, nearly half of them are 50-50s or I'm the underdog.
Yeah.
Who else has had like 20 fights and half of your fights you could potentially lose?
Yeah.
You're pretty much on the road.
Yeah.
You're half the fights.
You're a road fighter.
You're half the fights.
You're the away fighter all the time.
You can be the away fighter. And you're with Matchroom. You were the biggest promoter.
You've been with Matchroom since? From the
debut, man, was with Matchroom.
It's crazy.
And I've been with Matchroom for my debut, yet I'm having half my fights with the biggest promoter still as the guy on the other side.
That's to be fair, I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
That's mad.
Because in my head, I'm thinking, you haven't been with Matchroom that long, but you have.
From my debut, I've never boxed on anywhere else apart from Matchroom, apart from when I boxed for the British title because they won the Brit purse bids when I went over to beat Shaq for the British. Except for that, every one of my fights have been on Matchroom from my debut.
What was the feeling like going back to the change room after the defeat? That feeling where you know, hey, okay, I've been in a great fight and everyone's patting me on the back saying, great fight. But ultimately, it's an L.
Yeah.
What's that feeling?
I was just like, you know what? Part and parcel of the sport.
Really?
Take it on the chin, literally. I took it, I was like, look, I was in a great fight.
By the way, it was a great fight, you know.
Thank you, appreciate
honestly,
that.
dude.
Yeah. I enjoyed the fight.
That
I didn't
shit,
enjoy the result. I enjoyed the fight.
You know, everyone says, oh, the first round's a feel-out round. No. Everyone was like, oh, we're going to see a little feel-out round, you know. Spider's going to throw the jab and Buat's going to have a look from the get-go. And I knew from then, I was like, that I had that feeling in my stomach, like, okay, here we go, people. Yeah. This is going to be something big.
I knew. I watched your style, and I know my style. And I said to myself, there's not going to be a time where someone's not engaging. I knew that. It's the same thing when I watched Bivol. I thought if he ain't engaging with me, I'm engaging. So although sometimes me and Bivol didn't throw, our footwork pressure was on each other constantly. But with him, I know he likes to get busy. So I thought if I ain't, he's going to be throwing. And we both can punch. So I was just like, obviously you watch Dylan AJ, you're like, I did big domestic clash. As long as I end up as a meme at the end of this, I ain't getting that. I ain't getting
that. Didn't got memed.
Yeah, but this one's, you don't want to end up in that position.
No, so, not in a domestic. That's why people avoid those domestic clashes. You know, that's why Amir Khan avoided, I think, Kell Brook for years. You don't want that.
No, because it gets worse. If I got, like, for example, God forbid. But if I went and against Bivol and I got cleaned out, everyone would be like, oh yeah, Bivol was levels above. If that happened, God forbid, with Buatsi,
oh my, bro,
you're finished.
If Buatsi knocked you out,
you're finished.
You're done. You know,
you're done.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You can come back from it, but in terms of us, man,
you can't go around.
You can't come back.
You got to get your head low.
Done, bro.
You got to get your head low.
You're done.
You know, you see a man, you can't talk with him.
Is that Richards over
there?
Yeah. Safe Richards.
Yeah. I get in your car. Get along.
That's it. You mentioned Bivol there.
Yeah.
Did his performance against Canelo surprise you? Didn't?
No. I said to everyone, I remember even saying to John Ryder in the gym when there was talks with them, and I said, listen, everyone saw the way I pressured him in the last few rounds when I was getting to him. Before you can get to him, there's gear 1, 2, and 3 you got to do before you can think of 5 and 6. But his footwork is tremendous.
It's incredible, bro.
His counters are tremendous.
Yeah.
He's got a good jab and he's got a good defense. If you ain't got good footwork, a good jab, and you can't work in and out of him, just forget the rest of the fight. You're not in the fight.
And you didn't think Canelo had those attributes?
I said to I think I'd done it on TalkSport the day before.
Yeah.
And I said that Canelo is good at closing down the ring, but he's not good at in and out footwork. He hasn't got fast feet.
No, he doesn't.
He's got good ring IQ in terms of how to shut the ring off, how to change that square to a circle. He knows how to cut you off. And that's what I said he might struggle with, because Bivol ain't standing there with you. Did you move? He moves.
I couldn't believe how much he moved.
He moves.
I was watching it and thinking, Canelo's shattered. After the third round, I was like, Canelo's tried to follow this man round, and he's realised this, and he could see the crowd. And obviously it was mad. The crowd was crazy.
Yeah.
But they're smart, the Mexican fans, because they're watching it and they're thinking, oh, our boy's losing.
Yeah.
Like you could hear it reverberating around the ring, like, yo, Canelo might lose this,
Yeah.
And then when the scorecards were read out, I was thinking, don't rob Bivol.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Don't rob him.
I said that on the thing as well. They said, how do you think you're thinking? I said, if it goes to the end, he'll win, but I just don't know if they'll give it to him on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, like we would know. Fight fans would know.
Yeah.
So he'd get that respect, but I didn't think he would
get the decision. He even said it, look, if I don't get it, as long as I know I won, I'm happy with that. He said it even the day before or whatever. Yeah. So I'm saying that's what we thought. But I said his footwork, his hand speed, because I got very good IQ, as he said. I can read the fighter. So I'm reading him, setting him up. He's reading me, setting me up. We're there, stalemate. I'm moving my feet in and out. He's moving his feet in and out. We're clashing attributes. So we're always both in this. But he isn't used to someone else doing it. So this is why I think mentally he got tired in my later rounds.
Yeah.
Because he's used to just being the only guy. Like when you watch him with Joe Smith, Joe Smith can come forward, close the ring, he can punch, but he hasn't got fast feet in and out. And everyone he box can bang and they can fight, but they haven't got fast feet. The difference with me, I had the footwork, the IQ, and I could set up. And that's why we got into stalemate. And I said, if you can't do that with him, just forget it.
Matchroom are 100% trying to set up Buatsi versus Bivol. They obviously want that. I personally have said I want to see Buatsi yard and Bivol Beterbiev, because I want to see an undisputed. You've been in the ring with Bivol and Buatsi now. What are you thinking?
They both possess different assets.
Yeah.
Buatsi works in spurts with more spiteful. Bivol can be spiteful as well. It's a good fight. I just think
Buatsi wants to hurt you.
Yeah, he wants to hurt you.
Yeah.
He wants to kill you.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah,
like he genuinely wants to. He throws with mean intentions.
Yeah.
Like all this nice stuff out the ring. When he gets in there, and you obviously know him outside the ring, he wants to hurt.
Yeah, he wants to hurt you.
Yeah.
So when you're getting with him, you know what
time it is.
Yeah. You're like, listen, I need to get you out because you're trying to get me out.
because you're trying to get me out. I need to get you out.
I need to get you out.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality he's got. With Bivol, will play a patient game. He'll be disciplined. But if he sees the opportunity, he will get you out.
Yeah.
But if he can't, he won't panic. He's happy to win however he has to win.
Yeah, that's what it looks like with him.
With a lot of fighters say, look, I'm happy to win, however, he's being serious. Most fighters are like, no, I really want to take him out. Bivol's serious. I'm a disciplined fighter. However I got to win, I got to win. There
were times in that fight where Canelo was like, come on. It was like, no.
Nah.
He was like, freeze, 1, 2, then step back and crack and boo.
Yeah.
I'm getting the W here.
I
really do not care.
I don't care about these.
What do you mean, come in? Yeah,
what
we were talking about come in. He's really good. Do you think he's as good as Beterbiev, though? Who, for me, looks quite frightening.
Boxing skills.
Yeah, boxing skills, Bivol.
Yeah. But power-wise,
fuck, bro.
He looks like he's from...
Bro, that guy looked like he's carrying something in those
Listen,
gloves.
I'm not going to lie. I've been watching him for a while.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, even after the Buatsi fight, I know everything always happens for a reason. So I said to myself, me and Bivol had a very close fight. And when we ran it back, I could probably beat him at this stage. Beat him round.
You got the experience now of the big fight thing.
I didn't have the experience before. And I've improved since then. For a couple fights since then, I've been working stuff on the gym. But I said to myself, if I did then win against Bivol, I'd have Beterbiev next. I said to myself, what am I ready for in terms of these fights? And yeah, again, I thought about it. I began there with the same game plan. He's got to box him, move him, But do I want to go into a fight just hoping to be outbox a man and just make sure my engagement
You've actually got to, at one stage, dent him.
You got to.
You've got to.
And I said to myself, I'm glad this doesn't happen because now I'll fight again. Maybe I can get the winner of Bivol Buatsi.
Yeah.
And then maybe I can get, because obviously I know there's going to probably be issues between Eddie and Bob Arum and probably trying to make that unification between Bivol and Butterfia.
It's going to be impossible.
It's going to be very difficult. So it's not going to be 1-1 straight away after they're both fights. Yeah, let's just make this fight. Let's sit down at the table. Yeah. There'll be so much politics still with the fights for. So if I can get the fight between, this gives me about 8 to 10 months.
I love the way you've worked all this out. This is good. Keep going.
Yeah, this gives me 8 to 10 months to work on the areas Butterfia's got over me. So if you notice, like,
is that why you've been doing a lot more strength stuff in the gym?
There you go.
I see you doing like your deadlifts.
I'm focused on the top guy now. So I'm saying anyone before that, I should just clear them out. So when I get to the top guy, he's going to have nothing on me. Because the only thing Butterfia I think's got, he's conditioning. So once I've worked on certain things of my conditioning, what he's got, and we match in that area, there's nothing else they have on me.
I can't lie, he scares me. There's some fights I'm watching him. He reminds me a bit of sort of early GGG or early Covenant.
Yes.
This is him. Fucking hell.
Yes.
Like, this man's destructive. How
do you beat this guy?
Yeah. Honestly, it's the better that. How do you beat this guy? And then I guess we saw with GGG, eventually you started to see little cracks.
Yeah.
With Kovalev, you saw cracks.
Yeah.
And I guess we will see cracks with Butterfia as well.
It's beatable. And you know what? I say this now. I'm going to say this with chess.
Go on.
Yeah. Year from now, when I tell you, I'm going to be a unified champion of light heavyweight division. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this. Yeah. I know it.
This is recorded. We've got this recorded.
Listen, remember I said this.
Yeah.
I'm going to be light heavyweight unified champion. And I feel like God has a plan. He doesn't make mistakes. I believe he's just saying, you're not ready yet. You got areas to work on. And that's why my time off supposedly now, I'm working every day.
I think, and this is why I don't sort of laugh at that statement, by the way, because look, they think Buatsi is now ready for a world title shot.
Yeah.
And look, I know it's not 1 + 1 = 2, but we've already seen you in there against a world champion.
Yeah.
And we've seen what that world champion's then done against Canelo. So what you're saying isn't silly.
No, because I've pushed the Super World champion, people potentially say is the best in the division.
You pushed him all the way.
1 round.
Yeah.
If I had 1 more round, I could have potentially, or 2 more rounds, I would have got him out.
As people always say to you, you started fast. That's your thing, right?
Yeah.
If you started faster.
If I see the reason why with the Bivol fight, when people say that I don't criticize on that fight specifically, is because if I did go 1 more round, we saw how he was finishing with me in the last couple of rounds. If I did start that 1 round earlier, then you'd be looking at the Super WBA champion now. So I get it, but at the same time, he wasn't ready for what I was doing to him at the end. Maybe a round or so earlier. But maybe a round earlier. But early he was sharp. You can't make mistakes with these guys. They're not clowns. You don't just walk them down and just get them out of there. You got to know and you got to bide your time. You got to feel things in there. It's when I felt things in there where I knew I was ready to jump in the deep end. Now I've experienced all of this.
Yeah.
I know what it's like at the top level. I know what I need to do. I know the errors I've made. I see the mistakes I've made. It's 2 things when you come out of these sort of fights. You can feel sorry for yourself, or you can go in there and say, listen, I've got work to do.
And dust it off. And look, you're doing that. How long did you take after the Buatsi fight? It looks like you've been in the gym. You look in great shape.
Next week I was in the gym.
Gee, you didn't go on holiday?
No.
You haven't left the country yet?
Left the country. I literally was in the gym the next week, training. I literally the next week I was training. The week after or 2 weeks after I was sparring.
Your gym's so busy though.
Yeah,
that's the thing with your gym. Like someone's always got a fight coming up. A big fight. Joe Cordina's got. He had that fight. Conor Benn. People are talking about now as well. Felix Cash is out July 9th.
Yeah.
John Ryder should be out. Fingers crossed very soon. So there's always someone that is literally needs a bit of sharpening.
Yeah.
There's always someone. I want to move away from the light heavyweights, but before I do that, Yard looks like he might get the Butterfia fight. I don't know how beating Lyndon Arthur gets you that, but it is what it is. No, I feel like there needs to be 1 more in between that, as far as I'm concerned. I think it's a tough fight for Yard.
Yeah.
As it is, but it looks like they're doing that.
Yeah.
If you were in sort of the Yard management team, would you want 1 more, or would you say, let's just go for it? Fuck it, we've got to go for it.
Sometimes it's crazy because with boxing, it's all about the night. And you can do that 1 more against a guy, lesser opponent, get beat. Get cut, get beat.
Bust your hand, anything.
Yeah, you can have an off night and get beat and lose your opportunity. Now, you could go in against the same guy, the warm-up guy, and have the night of your life, and you could have beat anyone on that night. Yeah. So do you want to roll that dice? So when you get that fight of your night where you was untouchable, it's better to do that against the world champion. Look, when Joe Cordina fought the other day, Everyone, too early. Should have one more between.
Yeah, I said that.
Everyone said that.
I said after his last performance, maybe one more before Ogawa.
Everybody said.
I never expected that.
Everyone
knockout.
said he needs one more between.
Yeah.
And look at him. He had the night of his life. Imagine he had that warm-up, had the night of his life that night against someone else who would have smoked anyone. And then he goes against Gower and he's having an off night now. Yeah. And everyone's saying, see, he just wasn't ready. It's best to have that roller dice of the night of your life. When I stepped up after the British title against Bivol, everyone said 3 or 4 rounds he's getting knocked out. There's no way he's lasting more than 4 rounds. Afterwards, everyone's like, oh, he's better than we thought. So it's like, you don't know until you're in there. Yeah. So sometimes it's just styles make fights. So like, we've seen Bitervia get dropped by Callum Johnson.
Yeah.
He dropped him. So I feel like, he dropped him hard.
Yeah, Yard is big and it hits like that.
He can hit as well. So if you can punch now, we know that although he's looking indestructible, he's human. He can go like anyone else. If you can punch, you're in for a chance. Now, Yard is quite explosive for his size.
You sparred him before?
Yeah, we used to spar loads of rounds.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah.
So he does spar?
Yeah, that's all rubbish.
It's all rubbish.
That's all rubbish.
Yeah, Yard doesn't spar. Okay, cool.
Obviously, we ain't sparred for many years.
Yeah.
When I used to spar him, he was cruiserweight. I was like, having me mixed it up all the time. We used to spar 4 days a week together.
Oh, wow.
8 rounds. Peacock. So I used to do, sometimes I'll do 10 or 8 rounds. I'll do 5 with Dubois, 5 with him. So
5 with Dubois?
Yeah, I used to mix up Dubois and Yard.
Yeah, oh, jeez.
Yeah, so that was my sparring partners, Dubois and Yard.
Yeah.
So that's why if you ask Tunde, he already told everyone about my chin.
Yeah.
I've been hit with these shots and not blinked by guys like Dubois and
that. If you can take Dubois and Yards, you can.
So he, like, anyone who knows me knew this about me from years. It's just that people don't, as I say, because I come up the harder way, people don't pump this stuff.
You've almost come out the back route. I think that's what it is, right? You get those guys, like you say, the names, the Fathers, the Bens, the Eubanks, the Hattons, and then you get the Olympic guys.
Yeah.
And they're over there, and everyone else is over here trying to
kick
get
the
over
door
there.
down. Yeah.
Like, one second, what about me?
It's like them lost maids. You keep walking to a wall, you got to find your way back round. You're all trying to get over there. Honestly, to them.
That's what it's like. That's honestly what it's like. I remember, it's funny because I remember when Conor Benn came out early and he got like, I think he got Reebok sponsorship. Yeah. I was like, he ain't done nothing. And look, I like Conor, we talk now, but I was like, he ain't even done anything. So I can imagine everyone else over there thinking, this is not fair. It's difficult. It's not fair. So with going back to Yard very quickly, do you think he's got a chance against Bitervia?
I believe at this level, everyone's got a chance.
Everyone's got a chance. For real,
you're a human being. Obviously, if you're like Chinny and you can't punch,
he's not that.
Then I'm not going to give you a chance. But if you can punch and you can take a shot,
which I think he's got both.
Yeah, you're in with a chance.
Yeah, and good luck to him if he does take it.
I'll root for him. If he takes 100%. I'll be behind him.
It's a shame that fight won't happen in the UK. It'll be in America. And you almost feel like if that was in the UK,
but they're saying that though. They're saying that Bitervia might come to the UK for it.
I think so because Bitervia, I don't know if Yard can do the O2. But I think Yard could do 10,000.
Copper box,
and Copper box maybe. And Bitervia, we know, is not a big draw.
No.
So financially, if Frank can pull out the money and get him over here.
If Bitervia had a good promoter, he'd be unbelievable.
He'd be incredible, bro.
Because he's like 18-0, 18 KOs. Yeah. If you see his training camps and stuff.
Oh my God. Did you see that thing where he was hitting the wall?
Have you seen the thing with the press ups?
Yeah. Have you seen the thing with the 20 kg Olympic bar?
Yeah.
When he's
turning
turning
his wrist. These are all the things I'm trying to. This are all the things I'm trying to. I've watched you stuff, and all the things I think's mad. I gave myself to the end of the year to be doing all of it. Then I know I'm ready for him.
And you never know, right? Look, you're a big boxing guy. I know you watch loads of fights. Who impresses you out there now? Who do you kind of watch and think,
right now, I like Shakur Stevenson.
It's good, innit?
Very good.
Bruv.
Very impressed by him.
Bro, I feel like this guy could literally go through the weight classes and cause a lot of problems.
When he boxed Jamel Herring, I've watched it 12 times.
Really?
I've watched it 12 times. Like, it's so entertaining as a boxing fan.
He's so good.
I watch that every time and not get bored.
He's so good.
The guy is sick.
He reminds me, I watched that the way I used to watch old Floyd's fights.
Yeah.
I used to think Floyd, when you watch fights now and all the guys that are supposedly really good,
they're
getting touched and hit, and I'm thinking, Floyd barely got hit.
How
good was he? Like, did we not appreciate him?
Let me ask you a question.
Go on.
If he was in England, would he get a lot of decisions?
No.
He wouldn't have got no decisions.
People have been saying he's boring. Like,
he's
the reason Floyd was so good, I guess, is because he spoke so much shit outside the ring. Because inside the ring, people are like, he's boring, he's defensive.
He had a low output as well in his later career.
Very low output.
But he just made the shots count when he thingy, and he was very defensive. So and that's what wins in over there. And that's why I say to you, depending where you are, and he's very smart.
He might get booed over here.
No, he would get booed.
If I'm honest with you, I mean, again.
If you talk to a lot of the older British fans, they hate Floyd Mayweather. I hate him. He's boring.
Yeah.
He's scared. He's not entertaining.
Yeah, I remember when Ricky Hatton was going to fight him. Oh, Ricky's going to do him.
Everyone.
Watch Ricky until he got countered. Ricky's going to do him. I'm telling you, he's going to do him. He didn't quite get it. Okay, Shakur, I think's special. And that division with like Javonte Davis and Devin Haney.
I've liked Javonte as well. He's not looked that special in his last couple of fights. I was there in his fight. I went over for his fight in November. Against
it's that Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz. Yeah, I watched that fight. He didn't watch his best that fight.
It's like he now is so reliant on his power, or just sells himself on that his boxing ability is starting to decline a bit. Yeah,
but he always showed signs of getting hit quite often. Even when he was winning against Santa Cruz and that, if you look at all his build up to the knockouts, he was getting hit a lot. Yeah. And this is why I worried about him fighting when they used to talk about him against Lemo or him against Tiafimo. I would worry a little bit, because I would say that with these sort of guys, power, you can't just be affording to take shots. And it showed against, what's that guy, Rowley, the other day. Yeah,
Rowley's not even a great boxer.
He's a terrible boxer, but he just got some power.
Yeah.
And that's what made Tank not look that great, because the guy can actually hit. So now we couldn't afford to get hit with them shots. He was fleeing on his back. This is another thing we're talking about with the commentary and the agendas. They somehow had the copy box numbers, had him like 4 times the punch output of Rowley, and had him winning every round.
See, that's just not true.
It's just ridiculous.
It's
like anyone who's got 2 eyes who watched the fight.
That's not true.
Don't even have to count it to know them copy box numbers are completely off, and there's no way he won every single round. Like, he wasn't winning the fight, but the knockout was tremendous. So I do like Javonte, but I remember when I watched him box, what's his name? He come here, Liam Walsh.
Yeah,
he looked tremendous. One of the best fights I watched live.
That's when I felt like he was as good as it gets.
Yeah.
He still living the life.
Yeah.
So he made weight comfortably. He had Floyd next to him.
Yeah.
Boxing ability and power.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what he balloons up to, but it looks like he balloons up quite a lot.
Too much party life.
Too much party life.
Yeah.
Bro. You can just see it in him.
Crawford's another one of my favourite fighters.
Love him.
But he's been one of my favourites for years.
Love him.
I used to like him, and I used to like Errol.
It's a problem, that fight.
But since the car crash, I don't think Errol's been looking as good as he used to.
Yeah, so what we see, we've seen Garcia and Ugas.
Garcia hurt him
and
at the time.
Porter as well.
Porter hurt him bad at the time.
I said everyone would be a tough fight, and Ugas hurt him as well. Ugas nearly had him out of there.
Yeah. So for our last 3 fights, you've been hurt.
Yeah.
People don't look at things of what they are. So you look at Terence Crawford, you look at his build, he's slim built. So automatically you say non-puncher. Yeah. You look at his record, you look at all his latest fights, or whatever weight he's KO'd people for years and years and years.
Yeah, throughout the weights.
Every fight he's been in. If he was built like this, you'd be like, he's going to walk through him.
He's got that kind of Tommy Hearns.
Yeah. Kind of. It's a slim lit. It's like even myself when I box, because I'm not like that. Yeah. People don't consider me as one of the biggest punchers. Yet I hurt anyone, I'd get in the ring or knock him out. And it's the same with him. He's slimmer built, like athletic built. He's not classed as a puncher. And I think with Errol being hurt in these last few fights, I think Crawford could get him out.
I think so. I think Crawford's special.
I think he's special.
I think wherever that fight takes place, I'm there.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be incredible.
That's going to be mad.
Bruh. You know when I said black people turned out for you and Buatsi?
They'll be turned out for
that. Yeah. And they'll get all the athletes, all the NFL players, NBA players. They all come out. That for me is as big as it gets this year. 100%. I know Eddie likes to say that GGD Canelo is bigger, and I get it financially. It may be, but for me, in terms of the fight,
the Mexicans,
but
in the fight, that's a bigger fight.
I'm telling you, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford is crazy.
It's a history fight.
It is that, innit? 2 unbeaten guys. Yeah. 2 pound for pounders. One maybe prime. Number 2, one maybe number 4 or 5. Yeah. It's everything.
Where would you rank Crawford in the pound for pound? That's a good question.
2.
Why? Who's number 1 for you?
Usyk.
Usyk, yeah?
Usyk, bruh. As it's that guy, yeah? You know what it is, yeah? Even just being around him today, all of his fights, a bit like what you said, where every fight you're going into, you almost like feel like the away fighter.
Yeah.
For him, that's fact.
Yeah.
He fights everyone away from home.
Yeah.
And look, maybe because, you know, the Ukraine boxing scene isn't that big. A lot of the Ukrainian fighters fight in Germany or in America, but every fight's away from home.
But you don't feel like Crawford's had that. If you look at his record and his build-up, look where he's fought everyone, and look, he was always the underdog. Every time he wasn't meant to win. Even when he won a world title, Ricky come here. When he won...
bloody hell, Ricky Burns.
Yeah, he beat Ricky Burns.
Forgot that. You forgot about that in Scotland. That's like 8-9 years ago.
He's been world champion for that long in how many weights? You know, when he's beating all these guys, when he beat Gamboa was the golden boy at the time. Remember 50 Cent and that walking him out. He was 23-0, 20 knockouts or something like that. He was meant to lose that fight. He beat Gambo. Gambo obviously was never the same fighter since then. Postal, all these guys he's been walking through.
Yeah.
He wasn't meant to beat these guys.
And you're right, undisputed. You're right. I mean, Julius Ndongo, undisputed fight. But you know what it is with Usyk, and to be fair, it's an extent. That's why
and
number one and number
easy,
two.
And that's the problem.
Crawford does as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Crawford, he makes it look easy. And when you make great fighters look easy, you then go and get credit because what they do is they dismiss the guy's talents and dismiss everything the guy's done before him.
That's true. That's true. But the way in which Usyk, and you see it, I feel like I physically see him go into the tool bag and bring out tools that people ain't seen before and go through the gears. The way he went through the gears of AJ, I'm a big AJ fan, and I was watching it thinking, AJ about to get knocked out.
Yeah.
I was thinking, honestly, I think this smaller guy about nearly 2 stone about to knock out AJ right in front of my face.
Yeah.
And even against Tony, like I always speak to Tony Bellew about that fight he had. And Tony was like, for the first 4 or 5 rounds, I thought I was doing okay, but I knew I was fucked.
Yeah.
Because he said I could see him starting to...
well above his IQ.
Yeah.
Though.
Like he was making me do things that I was like, this... He said, what did Tony say? Like my brain was starting to fry.
Yeah, but you could see that though.
Yeah.
I could see the whole time he was winning the battle, but he was never winning the war. It's like when you watched Marcus Brown against Baterviev. You knew he was winning the battle, but you knew the war because like you're bouncing around way too much. Your legs are going to get rubbery. They get tired. And then later rounds, your legs are going to be tired. Then you're going to be sitting there taking shots. You're not going to take shots from this guy. Golovkin used to do that to loads of people. Kell Brook and that. They're winning the battle.
Yeah, everyone got excited when Kell landed an uppercut. And I was like...
But you can see him closing distance as the rounds.
It's getting closer and closer. And so Kell's working and working.
And that's what I mean. Sometimes you win the battle, you're not winning the war.
Yeah.
So with Tony Bellew, we always knew where that was going. We knew he was going to get to him. But when you watched him come up to the heavyweight properly, he boxed Chisora. Chisora didn't made him look like he was just too strong for him.
Yeah.
Like most of the fight, he was just fleeing, getting hit from corner to corner. So I thought AJ was going to also... Chisora's got that kind of bull style, though. Chisora doesn't care to get hit. Yeah. Because it's almost like he trusts his chin. I don't know what it is. Like, Chisora's been knocked out, but there's something about him like, hit me then. Yeah. Whereas AJ, for some reason, and even said him today, I looked at him and think, you're massive. He's massive, isn't it?
But I can't believe the size of him.
Every time you see him, he looks
every time I feel like, have you got an inch taller or something? Look big. I looked at his feet like you wearing them kind of trainers. Look big. And I'm thinking... You got to put it on this man.
That's what I thought. I said to myself, whenever I asked my predictions leading up, I said, listen, AJ's going to get into him, get stuck in, and just start letting his hands go. I was obviously wrong because he wanted to. I think AJ kind of knew in the back of his mind he could do that. So we said to myself, I'm boxing Tyson Fury.
Do you think he really said that? Do you think AJ really had that mindset? I know what you're going to say, like, I'm just going to try and outbox him.
Yeah.
Do you think AJ really thought he could outbox that guy?
The problem is, as a boxer, sometimes the crowd, when someone keeps saying things about you, and you lose your discipline, it makes you want to prove the crowd wrong. Okay. So everyone said all AJ can do is come forward and let his hands go. Yeah. He can't box to save his life. So they're saying Fury just outbox him. So AJ wasn't looking at Usyk as the final goal. Yeah. So what he wanted to do is show his boxing ability. He wanted to show his boxing skills. That's why he brought Angel, and you saw the drills he was doing leading into that camp was all boxing stuff.
All boxing skills.
It wasn't aggressive stuff what he used to do with Rob McCracken on the pads.
Yeah, we feel like he's smashing the pads in the bag.
You see him smashing like, ooh.
Like, looks bigger as well.
Looks big, bah, 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 bah. You're like, ooh. But if you watch Angel, slip, roll, boom, 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 boom. He was doing things that was boxing IQ. We don't see him doing that usually. So when he got in there, if you watch the fight back, you can see him trying to outbox him, trying to jab, move back. And you heard him, stick behind your jab and move, AJ. You never hear his instructions to stick behind their jab and move. So he's gone in there with a game plan that I want to show my boxing skills.
I think Usyk thought, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I genuinely think Usyk thought, what are you doing?
He thought, no, he's tricking me.
He's playing around.
Yeah.
Like, you trying to outbox me?
Yeah.
I think Usyk looked like, do you know who, have you looked at the resume? You trying to outbox me? He was shocked.
He went to get on his back and he's like,
huh? Okay, I'll come forward.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah.
So I just believe he went in with a wrong game plan. And I believe in the two, hopefully don't make me look bad, AJ. I believe he's going to come out and do what he should have done in the first fight.
Do you think he trusts like himself? Like I think Usyk hooks a lot harder than people give him credit for. Usyk. I think he cracks hard. Yeah. Even today, I know AJ's taller than him, but in terms of like frame, Usyk's gone quite big.
Yeah, he's got bigger.
Yeah, and I'm like,
the problem is the time goes on, the more he's getting developed into the weight.
Yeah, now he's a heavyweight. Yeah. Because he's almost like, everyone talks about the heavyweights being big, and I'm like, the tall ones, but every other guy is just out of shape.
Yeah.
Like really and truly, you should be 16.5 stone. You know what I mean? Andy Ruiz should be 6'1" and 20 stone. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So I think Usyk's now a proper heavyweight.
Yeah, he is.
And now when I asked him today, like, what are you fighting for? He said, my country. And I was like, yo, that sounds like Ivan Drago.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's quite scary.
That's about his motivators.
That's what he said, bruv. Like, no smiling.
He looked motivated. I saw, I don't know, it was the press conference in, where was they the
Jeddah.
other day? Jeddah.
Yeah.
And I saw the way he was looking at AJ. I could see it in his face. He wasn't here to play games. You know, he's joking and smiling, trying to thingy. You can see his face. He's come with a different mentality.
Yeah, when he walked in today, I just like, I'm a big AJ fan. I don't pretend not to be. And I was like, yo. I was like, AJ, you ready? And it's like, yeah. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I need a bit of whatever Dillian White and Chisora have inside. Yeah. Can someone just give that to AJ?
Yeah.
Like, I know, look, AJ, I know he's the former heavyweight champion, and you know that might sound disrespectful, but I want that even Deontay Wilder aggression in AJ. Like, be a bit more aggressive.
It's mad because I always say this about AJ, that people always judge you obviously by your last fight, and I get it, or your last 2 fights. Yeah. Considering the man, I think he's had like 24 fights, mad, 22 wins, 20 KOs or something.
I think like 10 world title fights.
Yeah.
Like 10.
He can bang and he can be aggressive. Yeah. I think what he's tried to do is to learn on, be a student in the game and start working on his weaknesses. Yeah. But I think he's been bringing out what he's been working on in the fights, where maybe he should have carried on a little bit longer in the gym working on them and brought his old style into the ring. I feel like this fight we're going to see, I believe we're going to see the old AJ.
Well, he's got Robert Garcia. And Robert Garcia is an aggressive trainer. All these fighters go that way. Yeah. There is none of that back foot fighting business. Or
we seen Maidana against Floyd.
Yeah. Look, exactly. Maidana against Floyd. Maidana against Broner.
Against the Floyd one.
Was you?
Yeah, went out.
And look what Maidana did.
Yeah, very aggressive.
Put it on Floyd. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Put it on him, bro.
Literally for 24 rounds. That was here.
Oh my God.
He'd have got unanimous.
Yeah, Maidana would have won the fight.
Yeah, easy.
100%. What? The guy that put in all the pressure on.
Yeah, throwing all them punches.
100% would have got that fight.
Yeah.
So hopefully, Robert Garcia, and look, I don't know if it's long enough. He's been with AJ. AJ said since December. I think that kind of got leaked until August. Is that long enough to implement? Is that long enough to get in sync with a trainer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. That's a very long time to stay with someone. And I think it's not a situation where, like, if I was, for instance, who's an aggressive coach? If I was with Robert Garcia, and then I've got a fight coming up and I went with Dominic Ingle. Yeah. No, it's not long enough. Yeah. Because you're changing everything you're doing. The whole boxing style, switch hitting, everything, that takes years to develop. So it's going to take me a few fights to get into that whole thing. I think Robert Garcia doesn't make it that complicated. He wants to see you aggressive, coming forward, closing that ring down and sticking it on you. AJ with Rob McCracken was doing that for years. We're now just bringing back his old style back.
See, it's true. Robert Garcia is not trying to change. No. He's trying to say, what I saw 2 fights ago, I want that guy.
I want that back.
Yeah, I want that guy.
So he's just working on what he's worked on his whole career.
Then, do you think he's working on?
I believe that he was just thinking ahead. He was looking at the Fury fight and he said, look, I've got to work on my boxing for the Fury fight. And he wanted to try out his boxing because he knew that Fury's a boxer. So sometimes you're looking one step too far. And that's why sometimes you don't negotiate fights. Well, I got another fight involved. Yeah. And I think it was just a simple factor of that. Now, hopefully he can understand that he's got Usyk now. He focuses on that fight and he goes out and executes.
Imagine if AJ does win. Him versus Fury.
What's happening next?
But it's the biggest thing ever.
I'll be there.
It'll be like, I tried to explain to someone that doesn't watch boxing. I was like, you do understand that fight will sell out Wembley in 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Like literally, there's not, like, you could have a stadium that fills 500,000. It's selling the whole stadium. Selling it. It will be so big.
Nah, we might take it Dallas.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, it's one of the ones that have to go to Glastonbury or something.
Yeah, it's mad.
On a field.
Yeah.
It'll be so big. It'll be incredible.
That is going to be the biggest fight ever.
Like, I believe. Ever. It'll be...
They'll top any numbers.
Anything. Right?
You look at that. If Fury and Dylan can do them sort of numbers, or AJ
Think about that. If Fury and Dylan can do 90,000 in a second, AJ... But at the presser today, bro, I've never seen so many cameras. Yeah. I'm like, who are all these people? Like, listen, you know, all these people.
When
world
I took that
media.
short notice fight against Buglioni.
Yeah.
Straight away, obviously, I flew back. 2 days later, I had to fly straight into Cardiff for the press week. I had more people at my weigh-in than I had on any of my boxing shows on the AJ undercard.
Really?
I could not believe the cameras. I couldn't believe the crowd.
It's incredible.
To jump on the scales. I was like, this is...
I wonder how he deals with all that. That must be difficult because even today, like, he got out, he signed autographs and he's nice, but there must be a part where it's like, oh man, this is a lot because he's been earning good money. He's like, does stadiums, does stadiums.
I feel like the first time he done a stadium, not the first time, but when he done the Klitschko one, I felt like he didn't deal with it well. Yeah. Well, I think he's in the gym at the time. I think he took in the crowd too much, the occasion. When he boxed, was it Usyk last? And I saw him talk to people, hugging old ladies and stuff.
It made me feel. I got angry.
Yeah, I was like,
I think he kissed a lady on the way in.
Yeah, hugged her.
And I was like, is he nervous? I didn't understand
Sometimes you can take in the occasion too much.
Okay.
And I said the same thing with Canelo. He took the occasion in too much. He took his eye off we're in a fight. Yeah. This is a show for you lot.
Yeah,
but I'm in a fight.
You're right. It's good
so
point.
It's like, for instance, when I came out, I embraced the music, embraced the crowd, and I spotted everyone here, and I focused on the ring and him. I know I'm in a fight. Like, for you lot, enjoy. I'm not even seeing you shouting, screaming, because I'm focused on you. Yeah. Canelo and that are embracing the crowd. They're on the podium. They're waving and smiling. AJ done the same. And that right there can suck half the out of you already.
We need to see like old school Mike Tyson just fucking walk to the ring.
Cut
towel. Literally the towel.
Man, a multi-millionaire, but cut towel walking out. Black one.
Boots.
Yeah,
like,
no brand.
In the ring. And I think he used to carry the WBC around his waist like that. Just that's it.
Didn't care.
I'm not here to
no glitz and glamour.
No spudding.
No tassels. No spudding. I'm going to the ring. Security's basically got to protect the crowd from him.
Me?
Yeah, because I'm on one. And I think AJ, I personally believe he's coming with that.
I think I 100% believe, interviewing him today, he's got that energy back.
Yeah.
Like, he's angry with everyone.
He's angry with everyone.
Like, he's even angry with me. I think I said something in a video and he looked at me like, yeah, he gave me that look like, I've seen the video. But we're good. So I think he's fully focused. What's next for you? What do you think?
Big fight, hopefully, towards October times.
Yeah.
And I just want to be back in that mix. It's only big, exciting fights.
Do you want that long off? When was that? 6? Yeah. Like, if you could go again in August, would you go again in August?
Yeah. I'd
if
go
you were
straight
told,
away.
sorry, yeah.
If I got told, look, you got to fight in September, I'll be like, cool. Like, I'm in the gym, everyone's like, even my gym mates, my trainers, they're saying to me, you need to take a little break. And I'm like, I don't want to take a break. I don't deserve a break. I need to get to this. They're like, no. For mentally, you need to take just a few days away and you can come back into it. So I said, all right, cool. At some point, I'll take a little break. But for now, I'm just on it. Like, so when I have my break, then I'll start camp.
Do you have anything that you do away from boxing? Don't tell me you're one of those guys that's just boxing. It's just, really, is it?
I was on a conversation with my friend on the phone earlier, funny enough. And it's like, if I was you, I'll be doing this. I'll be doing that.
I'd have been in Dubai tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be like here. I'll be there. I'll be at this club. I'll be at that thing. I said, it's just not me. And I said, everyone can see that's not me. They said, no. They said, to be honest, if I look at your gram, because you post nothing to do with anything to do with life, just boxing.
Nothing.
I would think you got some secret turn up.
Honestly, bro, I thought there must be another burner account.
Damn!
I was looking at it just before doing this. I was like, let me quickly go on Craig's page. There's nothing. There's there's nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm simple. Like, obviously, I have my fun.
Of course.
I have my fun. I have my private life. But in terms of long term, I don't drink. Obviously, I haven't smoked, obviously. I'm fully dedicated to sport. With me, you got to remember, my life has been a bit upside down. Like, I grew up quite early. Yeah. I become an adult pretty much at a young guy. Yeah. Then through my teenage years.
Why was that? You don't mind me asking.
It was just a situation. Family. Mum used to work late.
Yeah.
Dad obviously wasn't there, so he was there, but in his own place, still separated. So from a young age, I was doing my thing. I was like taking myself from primary school to home, meeting with the older boys, going to the youth clubs.
People don't know how mad that is, you know. When I told someone about, like, I'm quite similar with that.
Yeah.
Like, because I now see kids, like, I had a friend there the other day and we were talking, a white friend, and he was talking about, like, you know, his mum used to pick him up from primary school, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I used to walk from primary school to the house.
I used to catch a bus from year 4.
Yeah.
No, year 3, year 4. From when I was 7.
Yeah.
Hey, I used to make my own ways, catch a bus, my 40p back then, get on the bus, get my favourite chickens on the way home, go back out, then I'd go and wait for my sisters to finish secondary school, wait at the bus stop on the other area, meet them, then I'd go youth club. I wasn't even old enough, they used to let me in the youth club. When I was like, even from 11, I had to, my sister like, you got to be 12. I told them I was 12, so she's still not old enough, you got to be 13. I was like, oh, damn, they said, look, don't worry, you can still come here. So when I used to hang around with the old ones from an early age, then by the time I was probably doing things 12, 13, what you do at 16, 17. So the time I got to like 16, 17, 18.
You're a grown man.
I'm a grown man. So what you're doing now, in the 20s, I'm doing then. So the time I've hit 21, I've lived my whole life pretty much of my youth. So then I got into boxing. I only started boxing at 21, actually competing. So I've done 3 years in the amateurs, then signed pro. So all the drinking, partying, all of that, done it. So then...
Very Bernard Hopkins-esque.
Yeah.
Who kind of did everything.
Yeah.
And then started late. Yeah.
So then by the time I was 24, then I signed pro. So I started amateur 21, 3 years, turned pro at 24. Then I've been in my career, and I always said to myself, because I used to be around the gyms from young, I used to always go boxing. I was always in and out of boxing, but I used to just like to go sparring. So as a teenage boy, get sparring, go out and on the streets, whatever after. then I said to myself, certain boys I knew I was punching up in the gym, I saw them turning pro, doing well. I'm saying, how come he's doing well? He was dead. I used to punch him up all the time. But I said, him and me, the difference is he's consistent. I'm not. I'm in and out of this boxing thing. He's stuck to it. And I said, if I ever went back to boxing, I would give everything and be dedicated. And how far I get is how far I get. Then there's no regrets afterwards. So when I've come into boxing now, that's why I gave up drinking, gave up everything, and said, I'm going to dedicate myself until my last day. When I'm done, when I look back, I can say I tried everything. I gave my all. And that's as good as I was.
I remember speaking to Peter right after the Buatsi fight. So I did that interview with you and Buatsi, and I went to Peter after. And I was like, I was close, Peter. And I was like, look, Peter, how old's Craig? Like, how many years have we got left? And he said, he lives the life. We got loads of years. Yeah. And so one thing he says is that, it looks at me like a silly question. Yeah. He lives the life. We got loads of years left. Yeah. And it must be weird now because you are seeing athletes that do live the life still playing at the highest level. Yeah. So I feel like it's all changed now. If you are conditioned right, if you don't drink, if you don't eat shit, and look at the shape you're in right now. Like, I've been around boxers 2 weeks after a fight and I can already see the guy. So the fact I see it, I'm not going to mention no names. But the fact that you're in shape like this now shows me that you are living that life and you are ready to live that life. Appreciate it, fingers crossed we see you out again very, very soon.
Well, look at Materviv. What's he, 37?
37.
And he's only just getting better.
Just getting better. Yeah. Just getting better, living that life. Do you know what I mean?
Remember, Floyd's a perfect example.
He's the one.
He's the one who told us about not drinking, not thingy, and dedicating himself to the sport. He was, I think, world champion for like 13 years before he became even an A-side fighter.
How crazy
is that? And then look how long he went on and performed for like 21 years.
It's funny because Floyd was saying this about, obviously, like he's going through some issues with Gervonta Davis, and he was saying like, all these fighters want that big money, and it's because of him. Because Floyd got the big money. Yeah. He was like, go and look at what the work I did to get that big money.
That's what I said. 13 years as the B-side before. 30 years world champion. Sorry, and not even just 13 years world boxing. 13 years world champion before he started getting them big checks.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. It's crazy because you get guys now. Go and get your money because it's a dangerous sport. Very. But you've got to put that work in.
Yeah, you do.
Honestly.
And that's one thing I don't shy away from. The work, I'm on it. That's what I'm on. If I'm not boxing, I'm studying it.
Yeah, and good luck. What do you make of sort of the boxing landscape now? You know, you've got so many broadcasters now and sort of fights being difficult to make. Like I saw the other day, and I'm happy for both of them, Isaac Chamberlain fighting Chris Billum-Smith on a Sky card. And I was like, one second, Chris Billum-Smith the Zone, Isaac Chamberlain was Channel 5, and they're both fighting on Sky. Like, would you not jump to where the money was if, you know, you can?
I've had to do it when I boxed on the British title.
Yeah.
But it's good because I think the problem with boxing, when you get one promoter running the sport,
they can dictate.
They can just dictate, and UFC, the fighters are just stuck. It's stalemates because you can only, as a promoter, you can only promote so many people. There was a period of time when our division, that when Eddie just had the game completely tied up and there was no other promoters, you had, I think, 6 of us in the light heavyweights he was promoting alone. I think it was me, Buglioni, Callum Johnson, Joshua Buatsi, Jake Ball, and Jose Burton. And it was kind of a thing of, look, I've got 6 of you, I can't promote you all. Yeah. We're going to have to start eliminating some of you. Yeah. Some of you are going to have to survive with the fittest.
4 of them went, yeah.
They went. Funny enough, we thought 3 was going to stay, but in the end, 4 had to go. Yeah. And obviously, I had to fight my position against Jake, etc. And we went through. And now, obviously, in this day and age, that wouldn't happen because you now got Warren, you got Sky Sports, you got Parabellum, you got Eddie, you got
many Wasserman,
you got loads more. So it's good for opportunities, let alone for Americans. So it's good for the opportunities of fighters because there's options for them. And remember, it's a career. So it's good because people need to make money. So if you're on the shelf for ages because, for instance, the Zone or Sky Sports at the time's got 16 shows for the year and he's got to put all these fighters on, you might not be one of the selected ones for more than 2-3 shows. And you're doing 4 or 6 rounders. So the money you're getting is not sustainable to only be out twice. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. I think it's great for the opportunities for fighters.
I think it's good because I think fighters right now are in a strong position where if promoter A says nah, promoter B will like yeah. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You'll get an opportunity now because everyone's looking for fighters.
I think it was an opportunity. I think it was something Chris was trying to headline and Bournemouth show on the show.
He's been desperate to headline Bournemouth. Yeah. And for whatever reason, maybe Eddie didn't think there was any money in doing it. Yeah. And now look, it gets against a good guy in Isaac Chamberlain. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Chris Billum-Smith, I think, is maybe a level above. He's proven it recently. So we see, because Isaac's going to come and fight.
Yeah. So you got Chris for it.
I think I got Chris for it,
I
got Chris for it.
Yeah.
I hate saying that because now Isaac will be onto me. But I think I got Chris for it because I feel like Isaac's in a weird position. I feel like he might be too small for cruiser and too big for light heavy.
Yeah.
So he's like right in the middle.
I think he's been trying to build up as a light heavy. I've seen him. I've
seen that as well. He's trying to add. I see his legs have got a bit bigger. But those guys are massive.
Yeah, it's like if you're just 13.5. Yeah, he is. Me and him do loads around. I would have been sparring with him now. I had a little niggle in my hand where I stopped sparring thingy, but I would have been sparring with him now for this fight. And we used to do, me and Crystal do a lot of rounds. And I remember when I first started sparring with him, and I remember like obviously Shane hit me up like, do you want to come down to Crystal? I was like, yeah. And I remember walking up thinking, I didn't know he's that big. I couldn't believe how big he is. Yeah.
It's got that kind of dense muscle as well, like really dense.
Thick.
And I was like, geez, you're a big guy.
Look that big, but when
I've seen Isaac a few times and he isn't that
not
big.
That big, no.
I don't know if he's the better boxer, maybe he's slicker, but it's a tough ask for Isaac. That's a tough one. Before we wrap, your gym's kicking ass right now. Must be buzzing to be in that gym.
Yeah. It's good. It's good because
you know you're trained by Peter. Yeah. Obviously Tony's there. Does Tony not ever get involved and you get like word of advice from Tony? How does that work?
Yeah, we're all run together, innit? We're all together. Yeah. So like we'll do. I train with the boys every day. So all of us do the morning runs. Tony might take us all on the runs in the morning, and then Peter comes in. He gives me my advice. We go work through. He coaches me in the afternoon and does our boxing pads and etc. But Tony's there as well. Like Pete might say to one of the boys certain things. Tony comes to me, says, "Look, you got to work on this. You got to do this." And we're all one gym. That's what it was nice to have both of them do my corner for obviously really the Buatsi fight, because
I love when I see them come together like that.
Yeah,
and when it's a big one, it's like the Avengers assembling.
Yeah,
I do like it.
They got to come together for the big ones. Sometimes
only for the big ones they come together. You know, I've noticed.
Yeah. So it's nice. The gym is buzzing. I was happy for Tony himself, even Joe, because not only is Joe's winning the world title, it's good for him for his accolades as a trainer to train someone from amateurs to becoming a world champion. Yeah. That's an achievement in itself. So he puts a lot of work in as well. He's like in the gym very, very early.
Yeah, I think that gym and McGuigan's gym are the best gyms right now.
Yeah, it is.
McGuigan's gym's buzzing as well. Like,
he's a good coach as well, Shane.
Yeah, but Shane's a good coach. He's getting that respect. Like, obviously, I know what happens behind the scenes with management. People like to dig in. But as a coach, he's a very, very good coach. Give me your top 5 fighters right now before we wrap.
Britain or worldwide?
World. Oh, actually, you want to go?
No, let's go worldwide. I'm not getting putting a head like a show.
I'll put this out on Twitter straight away in Britain.
Crawford.
Yeah.
Shakur Stevenson.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's quite high. I like it. Crawford, Shakur. Okay.
If I have to go on stats, at the minute, you'd probably have to put Usyk in it.
You have to.
Because of stats.
You have to. Man's 2-weight world champion.
Yeah.
Unified. Olympic fucking world. He's got everything.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to.
Yeah. It's hard
regardless
not to.
of not whether you're not either. It's hard
whether
not
you're
to.
a fan of him or not.
Yeah, man would just say, here's my stats. How dare you?
That's what I'm saying. I can't be biased and not put him in.
Sometimes, I'm not a stat person, but sometimes stats speak for themselves.
They speak for themselves. Yeah. So he has to be in it for me. Who else do I really like? Like, who would I like?
Who's that? Errol, you're not a big fan?
I'm a big fan. I was a big fan since the car crash because
he's different.
He's a little bit different. I need to see a little bit more.
I've seen the Errol. I remember being sort of watching that fight against Kel.
Yeah,
that Errol there, young, fresh.
Yeah,
like obviously clearly living the life 100%.
That's what I'm saying. He could tell he was dedicated.
Was frightening.
Yeah, and then now he's not dedicated when he was drinking. He was,
and he had admitted it. I mean, you flip a Ferrari. We know there's problems. we know there's we know there's issues. Man could have died.
Yeah, 100%.
Could have died.
So you got him.
Inoue looks dangerous.
Inoue's good.
Yeah,
I did like Canelo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fucking hell.
I know everyone. It's bad because I'm the first person to say you achieve all this stuff and one fight they write you off.
Yeah. It's bad though, innit? Man tried to go to 175, and I've met Canelo.
Yeah.
He ain't big.
No.
He ain't big, and he's trying to take on these guys, and he loses once to an unbeaten guy. And I was like, you're out of the pound for pound.
One of the best pound for pounds as well. Remember, before I boxed Bivol, he was classed as one of the best pound for pounds.
There you go.
You remember this guy has like 280 something amateur fights. He only lost like 15 or so. He had won like 13 gold medals in different championships.
He's a crazy guy.
He's renowned. Do you remember when Andre Ward done a documentary saying the only guy I'd come back for is Bivol?
Shit, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, he said it's the only guy. That guy there is special. Yeah. He said it's the only guy who get me out of retirement. He done a documentary when I watched Bivol spar. He said I like his training. He's doing everything right.
So clean.
Yeah, he said does everything right. He's sparring the right guys. His training's right. This guy is the guy.
So would you put Bivol in there then?
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah?
Yeah, I definitely would. No, actually, I would. Yeah, take Canelo, Bivol.
Okay, so okay, one sec. So Crawford, in no order. Crawford, Shakur, Usyk. Who did we say? Bivol.
We said Usyk, didn't we?
We said Usyk, yeah.
Do you know it's so hard? Because in this last 2 years, a lot of the top guys who are favourites was buzzing have taken losses.
They've taken L's or not full. Like Lomo's in there.
Yeah, Lomo was in there.
Lomo's in there.
Like, he's not full, like, and he took the losses.
And he's taken a loss.
And that's why I say, like, right now, boxing is shaking up in the air.
I love it.
If I'm honest, like, it's hard for me to pick 5. The only 2 right now that I'm liking these guys is Shakur Stevenson and Terence Crawford.
Yeah, just from watching them.
I
think honestly, I agreed. I think
they're
fantastic.
old school fighters in terms of their IQ of boxing. Like, even the way he catches and reacts, Shakur,
stunning.
How explosive, sharp.
It's stunning for me with my inexperienced, untrained eyes.
Yeah.
For you to say it as a boxer and a clean boxer, because you're that clean boxer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not a brawler, you're a boxer.
I'm a boxer.
For you to say that, then I know it's good.
No, it's good.
Then I know what I'm watching is real.
No, it's real. It's real. I'm telling you.
Real.
I watched him like 12 times the one fight. You know me, I can hardly bother to watch a fight I've watched back once.
Yeah.
This fight in camps, sometimes I'm bored. I'm like, I've got nothing to watch. There's no more EastEnders. Do you know what? Shakur Stevenson, Heron, masterclass.
Yeah, bro, honestly, it's a masterclass. What about of all time? Is there like a favourite fight of all time?
Obviously, Floyd has to go on the list for me.
Has to.
Another fight I think's underrated. He don't get the achievements he should have. Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
When I first was growing up watching boxing, I said I used to watch boxing growing up. I never used to appreciate him.
Nor did I. I'm happy you said that.
Yeah.
I'm happy because
I used to be like, my dad used to, I'm telling you he's good. I'm like, oh, he's boring. But then I understood what he was doing afterwards, the patience, and then
so good, bro. His
jab was tremendous. And then he would just set you up, get you comfortable, touch,
boom, and you're out. Lights out.
The Ruckman knockout's one of the worst knockouts I've seen ever,
bruv. And the thing about Lennox as well, when you talk about like the perfect height, perfect build for a heavyweight, he started to get a bit big. Yeah. But there was a time when he was just perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Was he 6'5"?
Yeah.
Good foot movement, good jab, good chin.
Yeah, good chin.
Lennox was clean.
When he took out Andrew Galotto fight, he could come in dispatched of him. Bruv. The Shannon Briggs fight's one of my favourite fights ever.
There was a round where they're starting to let go on each other, and Lennox puts his hands down like he's like,
and he smiled at him. When you hit him one time like that, and he turned around with a black gunshot and he smiled, and he said, bang, and he just dropped him. I said, this guy is serious. So he was an all-time great for me. Before Floyd, funny enough, one of my favourite fighters was Roy Jones Jr., but obviously we know how he started ending. I just had to I was like heartbroken.
If they stopped Roy's career, Andy Ruiz, what am I talking about? Ruiz, when he went up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
What's his first name? I can't remember his first name is. The guy who beat heavyweight.
Not Toby.
John Ruiz.
John
Ruiz, apologies. If his career stopped there, we could be probably talking about one of the greatest ever.
He was one of the greatest ever.
Yeah. I hate...
He ruined his own legacy.
Yeah, I agree. It should almost stop there.
Yeah.
I don't count the rest.
No.
I don't count the next 20.
No.
But if it stops there, you're looking at something that we haven't seen before.
100%. Yeah. And obviously I grew up in Nassim Hamid era, but obviously he was unbelievable to watch, showmanship. But he was another fighter, like some of the fighters we see there and there, I don't want to name, but they're perfect fighters. They pick the perfect opponent for the perfect thing.
I've said this about, look, Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank, Prince Nassim. Like when I go back and watch them, I'm like, who's he fighting that
guys?
guy?
Yeah, who are these guys?
We didn't know box rec.
There was no box rec then, so you get away with everything.
So you look at 17 and 0, I'm like, 17 and 0?
Yeah.
These guys haven't fought anyone.
Oh, no one. This had to be a half-decent show.
Bums.
That's why man flicking around playing to the guy.
But it looked great back then.
It looked great, but my dad used to say, because my dad's always been a big boxing fan, there's a guy called Antonio Barrera. I'm telling you,
really?
For 6 years, he was banging on about this Antonio Barrera.
He embarrassed.
When that fight got made, he was so happy because he was a Barrera fan.
So he knew.
So he betted with everyone. He won so much money. Because he's like a diehard boxing fan. Yeah. So you talk about the Barreras, the Moraleses, all of that sort of era. So that's what I'm saying when you say certain men are probably a little bit more padded. So when you go into the real fighters back then, the Barreras, the Morales, even the Corrales, it's just that obviously Floyd made Corrales look bad. That's my sort of era, really.
And that's when I kind of started to understand boxing as well.
Yeah.
So when you say like Floyd era, like Miguel Cotto coming up, Manny Pacquiao, that's when I started to box rec and really kind of get into it. Like, these are real.
Yes, they're real fighters. So what you look at is these guys, they might have 8 losses, 9 losses.
Didn't mean anything.
But when you look at the competition they was jumping in with, they're like, as Steve Bunce always says to me, I'm like a throwback. They're like what I'm doing.
A bit like
when
Rosado,
you're just jumping
Gabriel
in.
Rosado.
The thing is, Rosado, He jumps in, but it's just that he looks a little bit out of his depth.
Yeah.
He was actually the first proper pro I ever sparred when I was an amateur. Gabriel Rosado. Yeah, he just boxed Golovkin.
He a bit like you, barely any amateur background.
No.
Yeah, he just
and he gets stuck in and gets in there. But these guys,
looks good.
Yeah, they fight at the highest level. Barreras, the Moraleses, all Manny Pacquiao, like the Shane Mosleys, the Cottos, the Zabjudas. These guys,
and that's what I grew up on.
Yes.
So I felt like I was
That's
spoiled.
really boxing. Yeah, you were spoiled. They was fighting each other.
Whereas now I'm like, please make the fight, please. So anyone, is Javante gonna fight Ryan?
Yeah.
Or no, just Twitter beef.
That's why I get sick of it. I don't get into that weight division because I know it's all talk. Like Ryan Garcia has been mandatory for a world title. What are you in it for against Devon? If you don't want it then for a world title, what do you want it for?
I'm going to his fight against Fortuna. I'm actually presenting.
Oh,
so
yeah?
Presenter, yeah.
Congratulations.
And it's weird, I've got to turn this Ade off.
Yeah.
And turn the, good luck, Ryan. Well done, Ryan. I'm really excited for you. And yeah, go on.
Yeah.
But deep down, I want to say, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, look, bro, off record. Who are you fighting?
Are
you going to fight someone?
Fight someone.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But,
that division, they need to mix it up. Javante, Devin, Ryan.
Get Loma chucking back
Lemo
in.
back in. I think Lemo beats a lot of them.
Even Cambosos does, one loss doesn't mean, obviously he got embarrassed with Devon, to be honest with you. But one loss.
He was at that level originally.
He wasn't at that level.
Tiafim had a bad night.
That's what it was. Tiafim had a very bad night, and I think Devon, I'll fight him.
Yeah.
I'll go to Australia.
Everyone wanted him.
Everyone wanted it.
Even
Shakur was standing, I'll go up. So literally it was the highest bidder.
If you think Shakur goes up, do you think he beats all of them?
100%.
Okay, you're with me.
I even think goes to 140 and causes everyone problems there.
Yeah, I think so.
Honestly, and then when Errol and Terrence move up, then obviously then there's Boots. We'll see. But I saw a photo of him and Boots. He's as big.
How far do you think Boots goes?
You know what the problem is with me and Boots? I've seen so many fighters like this that destroy people
at
the C or B level. As soon as they take one step to A, then I know.
Yeah,
I remember coming up, Andre Berto, and I remember thinking Andre Berto was incredible. Yeah. Speed, everyone was like, oh my God, this guy's going to be the next Floyd. One step up to Louis Collazo, I was like, what's going on here?
And then he lost to, I remember.
Then he got beat by Victor Ortiz.
That's the one.
So I remember thinking, so ain't that then? No. So I need to see Boots fight someone.
Who do you think's the best who's the best three after Crawford and Spence in that weight?
Here we go. Man, come on to my show, ask me questions. Best three after that. See, this is the problem. So you got Virgil Ortiz that everyone talks about.
Yeah.
And he's coming off a couple of good wins. Beat Cavi Velasquez, that was a good win. You got Boots. Now you got, what? You still got to put a bit of respect on Keith's name,
Yeah.
But they're talking about
people
Keith
shut
versus...
Keith out quick,
people shut Keith down like he's done, he's rubbish, he's old. Keith can still go a bit.
Yeah.
They're trying to do Keith versus Boots.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're trying to do that fight in September.
That'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting because that'll be the old guard and the new guard.
Yeah.
And let's
that
see
shows
what
level
I think even Sean could still come back and rock.
Sean could, yeah.
And I told Sean he could do it. He's like, nah, he's happy. He's got his money. He's got his podcast. Like, Sean could still cause problems to these kids.
So box Terence Crawford and give him that sort of competitive fight. For your last fight, you still got
something left.
Yeah.
There's still something left. So I'd probably say Keith. I'm going to say Keith, Boots, and Yordenis Ugas.
Yeah, people always
I'm going to say Ugas.
Ugas an operator,
Ugas an operator.
Yeah, he is.
If you're Cuban, for me, you already got the seal of approval. Like, you're rubber stamped. And getting beat by Errol isn't the worst thing in the world. No. So I can't give Virgil. So I'm going to say a Keith, Yordenis Ugas, and Boots. Probably my favourite three. As we're talking about sort of best boxers ever, mine are sort of Floyd will always be in there. But in terms of just excitement and that love for someone, obviously Mike.
I was about to say, Iron Mike. He has to be in there. He has to be in there.
Everyone. Like, it felt like he was part of the family.
Yeah.
Iron Mike.
He carried boxing.
Bernard Hopkins, I love just because whether or not he showed the amount of skill, just the dedication to be 50.
Yeah.
And 50 and still fight, man, I find crazy.
It's like George Foreman as well.
It doesn't make sense to me. And I don't know why, but I had a love for Miguel Cotto. I don't know what it was. Maybe because growing up, these fights were just so big at MSG.
What about Holyfield?
I know Holyfield juiced a lot, That's the
only issue.
Yeah, it just got too big, didn't it? Too quick. I remember someone showing me a photo and I was like, this guy was how?
Yeah, and he was a bit tough now.
Yeah, man, neck was like that.
Yeah,
and when I just don't like him because he beat up Mike. That's what it is, man.
Yeah, he destroyed our era.
Like, don't like you.
He destroyed our era.
Do not like you. But look, we were blessed with so many good fights and so many good fighters, and this is now obviously your turn to do what you need to do.
It's my era now.
Craig, appreciate you coming down, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Craig. Really
appreciate that.
Appreciate it.